Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 14th of May. Before I start looking at the technicals, let's just have a look. Today we've got the US retail sales out, so we've seen a bit of volatility kicking around every bit of news that's coming out from the US at the moment, which is getting back to the very old days. We used to have it like that, and it's starting to react again. So core retail sales today. Are we going to get so much movement? Probably not as much as we've seen previously, but who knows? I'm keeping a very open mind. So 1:30, that is the news really. We've got the ECB monetary policy meeting accounts coming out at 12:30, but I think no notice will be taking much of those. Got a bit of industrial production and consumer sentiment out from the US later as well at 2:15 and 3 p.m. respectively. So that's it. So 1:30 is the retail sales. Let's see what happens from that. Right, let's have a look at the technicals then. So technically this morning we have the euro at the moment looking like it's found a bit of support into its daily 21. Pushing beyond that, well, it was a mean old day in the markets yesterday in technically put. I mean, just spiking both ways. Well, enough said about that. Looking for today, well, it's just running into R1 territory. Will it push much through this? Well, that's questionable. Yesterday morning did the same sort of thing. We saw it sort of push up, then just completely roll over. I'm skeptical against these moves, but perhaps we are on for a more positive shove up. We'll see. But we'll, as I say, I'll wait post 8 o'clock. But really, it's anyone's guess at the moment. It seems it's not really given a lot of clues in the technicals. The pound. Okay, the pound again yesterday it carried on selling off a little bit, but a bit more stable. But again, consolidation from the downside. I'm sort of looking here. If it was to start rolling over, maybe I can't draw this morning. Let's try again. A break of the sort of lows that are sitting across here would be possibly there for the downside. Maybe we are going to see a more of a sustained push up here. But I'm always suspicious of these sort of pre-8 o'clock moves. Let's see what happens post 8 o'clock. This one itself looks like it could be running into the R1. It's well underway at the moment. There's certainly no way I'm going to get in the way of it one way or the other. We'll see. Again, not real certainty. Higher low in the sort of a couple of higher lows, I guess, on the pound there. But as I say, just very suspicious. These pre-8 o'clock moves often just returns back to where it was previously. Dollar yen likewise at the moment making a bit of a move. Yesterday didn't really do too much, almost a bearish army, but nothing too much kicking there at this stage. Okay, maybe a bit cleaner here on the 4 hours, a lower high coming in. Maybe it's going to just continue this route. Again, we've got volatility kicking out there at the moment. Let's see what happens post 8 o'clock. As much as, I mean, the main mover has been to the upside on this market to over the last couple of days to the downside, and the others. I think we just got to wait and judge, see what materialises this morning. Aussie dollar. Aussie was certainly quite a bit weaker yesterday at times. Catching a bounce, a bit more, again, similar sort of price action. Is it just going to go into run into its 4 hourly 21 rollover? Again, I'm just suspicious of these moves, but they'll just pull back into range. This is actually broken out of a few highs here. Again, confirming higher low, but nothing conclusive for me at this stage. It's just not like it's sort of really made a proper move either way. Just looking at these markets, just scratching my head this morning. Canadian dollar sold off then. It bounced yesterday. It did just trigger off my trailing stop on that and has stopped me out there. This one does look like it's sort of moving maybe a little bit more in line. It's run into its weekly pivot there and it's just sort of rolling over a little bit at the moment. Maybe we've got more downside on that Canadian dollar. It is my favourite. It's the strongest, one of the strongest currencies out there at the moment versus the US. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the US dollar selling, coming more into it, and its Canadian dollar pushing back down towards those prior lows. over the longer period. That might be my target today on more of a mini swing basis. Just having a quick look at the New Zealand dollar across these time frames. Again, it's a bit like the Aussie, actually a bit better than the Aussie in terms of its bounce yesterday. Managed a bit better bounce, and again higher low on the 4 hourlies here, but again not the nicest of markets. You already see it pulling back from these sort of new highs it's putting in. Hardly fills me with confidence, so I will be standing aside a lot of these markets by the looks of it this morning, unless something really shiny turns up. S&Ps then, what's been going on? Well, I was questioning yesterday whether it really was going to roll over some more, but it managed to find some support and get a decent bounce. I'm not sure what it really classes this support into, but it's found some support, and we're seeing a sort of higher low here, sort of signal just maybe just running through, and a steady climbing movement at the moment. So really long side may prevail, but for how long? It so often just carries on and makes new highs once it's had these sort of movements. I'm just coming back to the dailies here. It's got a bit more of a task, and it's got the sort of daily 8 etc sitting in the front, right in front of it here, so might just stall it. Now looking away into gold. Gold had a decent move yesterday. It bounced off its R1 there, monthly R1, weekly pivot there, same area, confluence. Higher low through the Asian session here. It's once again trying, and yet again it's sort of just pulling away from its lows as I'm talking. It's nearing 8 o'clock. We're seeing selling coming in earlier here. Now is it going to completely turn around? It's done a nice sort of higher low, and it's doing everything for the right side for further upside. So I'm on 30-minute here instead of 60. There we go. Let's put a 60-minute candle in. There it is, better, but it's doing the right sort of thing here. Higher low in there, but whether this can be if it's sustainable is another matter this morning. Just look at the watch for retracements, see if they hold on the shorter time frames on these markets that are doing this sort of push. If they don't hold, well, stand aside, let them fall through. Right, finally, yes, gold. Let's have a quick look at oil. Yes, John, they are all horrible. It's not just me then. I do look at these markets sometimes and think, is it just me that I'm not awake this morning, or is it just that they're just horrible markets? Oil's put in a bearish sort of pattern there on the dailies, and sold off a little bit more. I wouldn't be shocked if it bounced again today, the way these markets are going though, but we'll see. It's certainly, if we get a stronger dollar come through, normally we see a weaker oil price, but we're seeing a weaker oil price on a weaker dollar at the moment. So as I said, maybe on that basis we might see it bounce. However, bigger picture, I'm expecting the oil to sell off, but it's just when, and I've got my little I had a little signal down here to wake me up to any sort of sell off. Maybe now a break of the sort of the 50, the 34 on a daily there will get me looking at it in a bit more detail, but I'm looking to see if it sort of breaks down here, and then it will give me sort of a couple of targets. I'm really looking back to the 50 in the bigger picture, but I could be completely wrong on that. Now, quick look into Bitcoin. Actually, I'm not going to be able to share this with everyone, but just sharing it with the roomies here. Just looking at treasury notes, just looking at the yields here. The yields have been, when they've been pushing up, the dollar's been getting stronger. Now it's pushing up. It peaked up a little bit this morning, but they're off a bit at the moment. And let's just have a look over the last 5 days, and we saw some real sort of push up into that was Thursday. Quite latish on Thursday, we saw quite a push up, and then the yields started dropping back down again. But every time we see those yields push up quite strongly, we're seeing the dollar follow through and push up with it. Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin's broken a little bit here, it seems, at the moment. It just came down yesterday. It's not really done too much. It just danced around in the range. It was largely broken when I looked at it in the morning, having come back to its S1 area. It has just pitched out, put a lower low in there, which is suggested a lower high overall that's come into this pattern. for quite a while, and maybe even now, I do wonder if it'll just get into a bigger range and just consolidate. However, a break of yesterday's bar does turn it quite more bearish for me. So a break of below that sort of 46, 44.90 would suggest further downside maybe. Right, that's it. Nothing, as I said, a very difficult market to read through today. I wish you a great day on for our YouTubers, and I'll catch you on Monday. For the rest of you, hold still. Oh, one question there. Sorry, I'll answer that quickly. A US dollar Swissy retrace. Let's have a look. Whoops, let's get the right one. I'll have a look at that for you. Swissy. Well, it looks like it's continuing on the downside, doesn't it? It's had its retrace at the moment. On daily wise, it looks like it's a continuation move here. Bear flag sort of pattern on that big picture. Bear flag sort of pattern. It looks like it's continuing, potentially continuing back to the sort of 90 area. Always suspicious when you see the pound, the euro pushing up, and then you've got the likes of the dollar Swiss sort of rolling over. It sort of suggests yeah, well, I don't know. Perhaps that's right. Of course, so suspicious. That's the right way of things to be. Shouldn't be so suspicious. That's okay. That's fine. That's dollar weakness there as well. Sorry, let's get the brain into gear. But yep, that looks all fine. Then it might all for the Swissy. We could see that 0.9 area once again. Right, I'll leave you to it. Have a great day. Bye for now.